All right, so this is going to help you with your delta math. Okay, you're going to have, let's see, you're going to have two sections on this one. Okay, so the first section is going to be the empirical rule. Okay, and that's your 68%, your 95%, your 99.7. But I'm going to tell you the best way to do this is to actually draw the curve. Don't take a short way out, okay? It's not hard. You don't have to draw the curve. Just at least draw the number line, okay? All right, so it says, in an all-boys school, the heights of the student body are normally distributed with a mean, there's my mean, of 69 and a standard deviation of 3. That's what you need. It wants me to know, using the empirical rule, what represents the middle 95%. Okay, well, you have to remember 95%, so let's pull this back up. 95% is 2 standard deviations, okay? So 68 is 1, 95 is 2, and 99.7 is 3, all right? So I'm going to draw my line, all right? The mean goes in the middle, so the mean is 69. Now, 1 standard deviation away is where you add the standard deviation, so I'm going to add 3, and I get 72. Subtract 3, and I get 66. But that is 68%. That's not what I want. So I need to keep going, okay? So I'm going to do it again. Add 3, I get 75. Subtract 3, I get 63. That is going to be your 95%. So 95% of my data is between 63 and 75. So when we go back here, it's going to be between 63. Hold on. It's between 63 and 75. Hit submit, and you're done. Okay, let's do another one. All right, new problem. Take a screenshot. I'm gonna do 3 from each. Okay. So this one says, at a local restaurant, the amount of time that customers have to wait for their food is normally distributed with a mean of 14 minutes and a standard deviation of 4. Using the empirical rule, determine the interval of minutes in the 99.7. 99.7 is your 3, is your plus 3 standard deviation, okay? So we're going to draw our line again. The mean goes in the middle. The mean is 14. All right, we're going to do it one time. I'm going to add 4. So I add 4, and I get 18. Subtract 4, and I get 10. Now that is 1 standard deviation, which is 68%. Okay. We're going to do it again. We're going to add 4 again, and I get 22. We're going to subtract 4, and I get 6. That is going to be your 95%. Okay. Still haven't hit the 99.7, so we're going to subtract 4 again and get 2. We're going to add 4 over here and get 26, and that is going to be your 99.7%. So it's going to be between 2 and 26, okay? So 2 and 26 will be my answer, between 2 and 26. Whoops. Come on. There we go. Hit yes, and you're done, okay? All right, one more problem from this. Oh, it wants me to, sorry, don't, all right, go back. All right, so we're going to screenshot this. So this one says, the weight of oranges growing in an orchid is normally distributed with a mean of 7 ounces. So my mean is 7 ounces. And a standard deviation of 1 ounce. Using the empirical rule, it wants 99.7 again. So that's 3 out, okay? So I'm going to draw my line. My mean is in the middle. And I've got to go 3 times. So I'm going to add 1. This is going to be 8, subtract 1. So you subtract when you go to the left, you add when you go to the right. But that is going to be 68%, okay? So we still got to go. We're going to subtract 1 again and get 5. We're going to add 1 again and get 9. That's going to be 95%. Then we're going to do it one more time. Subtract 1 and get 4. Add 1 and get 10. And that's going to be your 99.7, between 4 and 10. So I pull this back up. between 4 and 10. Okay? All right. For your second section, okay, let's pull it up. Let me find my recorder first. All right, so this one is kind of like that last problem we did on the worksheet, okay? So it says on the test that has a normal distribution, a score of 66 falls 2 standard deviations above the mean, and a score of 48 falls 1 standard deviation above the mean. Determine the mean of the test. This is kind of like we just did with the 4x kind of thing. So you have to count how many spaces you're away from that number, and that's what, like we did. Okay, so here we go. We're going to draw the line, okay? So my mean is right here in the middle, okay? So it says 66 falls 2 standard deviations above the mean. So 1, 2, and that's 66. Remember, your standard deviation is unknown, so it's x, okay? And then the 48 falls 1 standard deviation below. So 48 is going to go here. So these are 3 standard deviations away from each other. That's where the 3x comes from. So if I add 3 standard deviations to 48, I'm going to get 66. So if I say 48 plus 3 standard deviations, it'll equal 66. So then we're going to subtract the 48. I'm going to say 66 minus 48, get 18. So I have 3x equals 18, divide by 3. So x equals 6. Now that's x. Okay, that's what the standard deviation is. So I'm going to add it. So I'm going to add 6. Let's use a different color. So my standard deviation is 6. So I add 6. So 48 plus 6 is 54, which is where I wanted to be my mean. So I come back and I type 54. And that's my answer. Okay? All right, let's do another problem. 2 more. Did it go? Oh, it went to another problem. My bad. I'm trying to exit out of this guy, and it's not really working. Okay, let's go back. There we go. I got it close. Okay, here we go. So let's screen snippet. Snippet. I think my pen actually did finally die. So it said, on a test that has a normal distribution, a score of 29 falls 3 standard deviations above the mean. All right, so if we draw our line, okay? So the mean is right here. I'm just going to say mean, M for mean. A score of 29 falls 3 standard deviations above the mean. So 1, 2, 3 is 29. And then 23 falls 1 standard deviation above the mean. So 23 is right here. So how many standard deviations are between those two? 2. So 23 plus 2 standard deviations is going to give you 29. Subtract 23. We're going to get 2x equals 6. Divide by 2. X equals 3. So now, to find the mean is right behind this, so I'm going to subtract 3, and my mean is going to be 20. Okay? All right, let's do one more. Close it, pull it back up. All right, oh Lord, have mercy. New problem. So last problem we're going to do together, okay? So we're going to snip it. All right. So it says on a test as a normal distribution score has a score of 54. So 54, so we put our mean in the middle. 54 falls 2 standard deviations above the mean. So 1, 2 is 54, okay? Score of 34 falls 2 standard deviations below the mean. So below is 1, 2, 34. So 34 plus how many standard deviations to get to 54? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 times x will give me 54. Subtract the 34. I get 4x equals 20. Divide by 4. x equals 5. Now remember, that's your standard deviation. So if you look, if I add 5 here, I'm going to get 39. Add 5 again, and I'm going to get 44, which is my mean. So I come back and I type 44, submit, and you're done. So that is your Delta Math assignment for today. Let me know if you need any more help, but that is going to end our statistics unit.